Alright, we are live. Hello all. Yeah, today's stream is a little bit earlier because I got something later on tonight. So I will end up just doing the LeetCode today on my own. But I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna be doing my usual stuff with my compiler. And also I have to grab laundry in like 10 minutes. So the alarm's gonna go up when that happens. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah. Anyway. This is day 36 of studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. Yeah. Usually I'd get straight into LeetCode, but we're a little bit early today. So I suppose that will have to wait a little bit. Yeah. So the two things I want to get done today are, or at least at minimum, I want to get this thing done, which is rewriting the front end to use smart pointers, because there is so much mess that exists currently with just raw pointers that I'm managing, and it's just making a complete mess out of like writing destructors and stuff. I'd ideally like to clean that up as much as possible. And then the second thing that I'm hoping to get to if I have time, we'll see how long I take. But I'd like to extend the CLI parser a little bit, because currently it just runs all passes every time, which, although we have only like one pass, even still, that's it's not really as configurable as I would like it to be. So yeah, I guess we can get straight into this. Let's see here. Okay. Pull. Okay, neat. Oh yeah, because I merged it last time. That's what I did. Okay, nice. So we want to make a new branch. Maybe, do I want to stick to this like branch naming convention thing? It's low-key getting annoying. Let me look this up. Branch naming conventions. Feature, bug fix, hot fix. Okay. Yuck. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna do away with this branch naming convention stuff. It's getting kind of annoying. There's a lot of stuff I need to worry about with it. A lot more than I'd like to have to worry. Okay. So this will be frontend smart pointers. Okay, neat. So I guess we can, I think the general approach that makes sense here is to kind of just rewrite things to use smart pointers and then just fix the gaps as we see them. So I think this utils pile is a pretty good place to start. This type stuff doesn't need to change, this operator stuff doesn't need to change. Symbol table, I think. I don't think I need to change that, actually, now that I think about it, so that's fine. Yeah, this seems pretty sane, at least, at a glance. So the only thing that needs to change here is Atom, I think. But, even still, that actually doesn't really need to change, I think. Yeah, because we don't have pointers here, so that's fine. Yeah, I guess we could just start with the AST then. Actually, let's have this up here, maybe. Yeah, like that. I think the scope should be the one that owns the instructions, at least. At least the way I'm looking at this. Yeah, today's an early day. Welcome back to the stream, Frothy. Haven't seen you around in a bit. Okay, yeah. So the things we want to change here for the most part, it looks like just these, mostly just these raw pointers, I guess. And then also the instructions list. I'd like that to be vector of, actually, unique pointer to vector or vector of unique pointers. Yeah, I'm lucky. That's kind of how it be sometimes. Oh wait, this is a stupid question. Yeah, of course I want a vector of unique pointer. Okay, we actually don't need to split screen this for now. Let's start here. So this is vector of unique footer of instruction. What's wrong here? Instruction footer. What? Do I need to... Is that what I'm missing? Yeah, that is what I'm missing. Okay. Neato. So that solves that. We also need to change this. Vector also unique footer, I guess. Seems reasonable enough at a glance. Is this a C compiler? Yes, it is. Same old project. Just today's job is kind of maintenance. If you wanted to see, like, actually last stream is probably a good stream to rewatch if you want to catch up on how things have been. That stream is pretty much completely just like me going over the changes I've made so far, relative to like the big picture, and then the stuff I still need to make. I also posted in the Discord in the compilers channel, sort of the whole planning slush that I've gone through. If you want to look at next steps and also just like current state. Yeah, correct. This does not use LLVM. Also, hello, Emmanuel. Welcome back to the stream. Okay, so I don't think we need this destructor. Do we need this destructor to be explicit? Oh yeah, no, we don't need it anymore. Because unique footer does the destruction. So that's scope done. Also, my laundry alarm went off, so I will have to get that at some point. Okay. We can get rid of this destructor as well, and then we can change this to unique footer. This is a variable. This needs to does this work? I just make this a reference. What did I do for these visitors? Or wait, no. Okay, we use footers here, which, sure. Okay. This needs to change. Variable. Okay, so that's that one done. Next is whatever the hell this is. Declaration assigned value. I need to change out values to use like expressions, and then we can like assemble those. but I think that'll be relatively easy at least. I think we can figure that out later. What does the IR look like? It looks very similar to LLVM's IR actually. I have some examples in the test directory. Let's look at expected, yeah. Yeah. So it is quite eerily similar. It's just the values on the left hand side of the equal sign also have their type prepended to that the type prepended to them as well. That was just so it was easier for me to print, but maybe I'll change that, maybe I won't. We'll see where this ends up going. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay on this for too long. If you wanna look closer at it, you can, I guess, take a look on the repo. Okay, let's do a find and replace actually. Let's just change all atom identifier star. I want to change that to stood unique footer of atom identifier. There we go. And then we can fix the destructors as we go, but this will expedite the process a little bit. We can even do atom as well, I think. And then now we can review this manually. Okay, so these are unique footers. Actually, how do I handle getters in the middle end? Because I also use unique pointers here. Oh wait, these are just straight pointers, yeah. No, but that wouldn't make sense. So maybe in here, because here I definitely, yeah, okay. So it does return, but reference at least. Or the getters vomit out references, which is definitely cleaner. Let's change that real quick. So that one's good, I think. Here, this needs to be a reference. These need to be references. Should be, at least. We can get rid of this destructor as well. This is fine. What's good, Sharp Shark? Haven't seen you around here. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, my goal today is to rewrite a lot of the existing stuff I have to use smart pointers instead of just using the straight raw pointers, because that will make it easier for me to maintain in the future. And I figured I may as well do this before I implement control flow and like if statements and all that, rather than after. It seems a little bit troll to do it after the fact, so yeah. Okay, so we have those, that's good. Jesus, this is a mess. I hate this constructor, but that's kind of how it is. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Delete this. Okay, this looks good so far. Can change this. I can get rid of that. We can do the same thing down here, I guess. So change that, and then get rid of that. What is an atom? This is either, it refers to either a variable or a literal value. I could not think of a better term for, I couldn't think of a better name for it. Funnily enough, I think I'll end up deprecating it at some point, or even just straight up removing it in favor of just like expressions. Yeah, because then the expression will contain like a variable or a value, or I guess I'll still keep them, but they'll be abstracted away a little bit more, I guess. You won't see them everywhere as much, and I really don't like the name. It just seems a little bit contrived, at least. Specman, you're locked in? Thank you. Let's get rid of this again. Okay, and then I think the rest of this is fine. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's broken here, but we need to slowly work on this. Get rid of that. This should... okay. Add instruction should take a unique putter, I think. I missed that one. And then that should do it. That take a move. Oh, it's missing a brace. There we go. Also this type is wrong. Code looks pretty clean. Nice, thank you. That means I've done a good job with my commit messages. Also, while I'm at it, another small thing that I want to change here is like, a lot of these names are like very verbose as well. Like, I have like, or like in some of these algorithms, I use like the full word instead of just like a shortened version. Like symbol table is something I could probably shorten. We'll fix it as we go through it, but I think I've just like stylistically changed the way I write a lot of things, so there are some side effects there. So yeah, I can't really find any of like the really egregious versions, but there's some like really bad ones I think in like here. Yeah. Also, I'll need to change those as well as we work through this. So maybe we won't have time for the second thing that I wanted to work on. But yeah, it is what it is. Good late afternoon, early evening. Yeah, that's roughly the time. Hopefully you're doing well too, Skittles. This should take a move. Is that what this should take? I'm referencing my middle end for this. Yeah, I'm in Central Time, so it would be pretty much late afternoon, I think, technically, but tomato, tomato, same difference. Okay, so in here, oh, this is just a straight return, right? Oh, the function signature is wrong. So it's that, and then it's the reference. There we go. Much better. A central squad. Yeah, surely nobody steals my clothes. They're in the dryer. surely they're not gonna get stolen anytime soon. Okay, let me change this constructor. Let's get rid of that. Oh, Jesus, okay. And then this is a move. That's the wrong breaks. Surround word with close brace. There we go. Much better. Yeah, okay, nice. Okay, get type. That's fine. Get variable. This signature needs to change. I hope you have the LVM dragon shirt. I don't yet. Maybe that's what I'll put the ad revenue towards. That might be a funny place to put that. Is this good? It's wrong. This is declaration. Oh, it needs to be a reference. Oops. Okay. So that's good. That looks fine. This needs to change. Oh god. Yeah, that. I could probably do a lot more of this find replace by... Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the same find replace I did before. So atom identifier changes like that, and then atom changes like that, and that fixes a lot of things. There's some things that still need to change, but it's at least a start. There's still a lot to change by hand, which is nice, because then I get to chat with y'all more. That's most of the fun of streaming, at least for me. Side fault, yeah. This looks fine. This signature looks really ugly. Oh yeah, okay. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that makes sense. This seems fine. This needs to be a reference. Yeah, a lot of these get a lot of these lines get a little bit mangled by formatting, but it's a price that's worth paying, in my opinion. My eyes are glazing over a little bit, but, you know, refactoring. So it goes. This takes that. Okay, these also need this. Just didn't move. Oh, op doesn't need it, actually. Okay, there we go. Oh, this needs a reference. Are you doing any LeetCode today? I will do it on my own off stream, unfortunately. The timing just seems a little bit awkward, for better or for worse. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of just an unfortunate fact of streaming at this hour, because I want to keep my streak, but, you know, that's kind of how it is sometimes. Yeah. I assure you there will be more tomorrow, though, because... do I have... I think one of my classes runs late tomorrow. No, it doesn't. It runs late on Wednesday. Yeah, we'll have to see what the timing looks like tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully it's not too egregious. this needs to move. Yeah, as you can see, it's actually not that like theoretically difficult to do a big rewrite with unique pointers. It's just a lot of boilerplate to change. Okay, so this file is completely changed as well. I guess I could fix the AST real quick, I think. Yeah, this just needs some unique pointers, but yeah, I'm gonna make those changes real quick, and then after I do that, I'm gonna go grab my laundry real quick. You'll see a giant pile form behind me, and it'll be kind of funny, but yeah. Okay, so this should be we could just run the find and replace again. And then scope should be unique pointer as well. We just have identifiers that change. It's a reference. And then hey Janine, how are you doing? This, what was I doing here? Oh, because I see, okay, yeah. We steal the, I think we steal the symbol table from this? Oh wait, no, the program has a shared symbol table. I see. Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Yeah, I think it's definitely quite draining to get back from classes sometimes, but that's kind of always how it ends up, for better or for worse. I think if you have like mandatory time scheduled out and you enjoy, like if you like genuinely enjoy working on the thing, you will end up being able to make time for it no matter what. Like back when I was like very intermittent with just working on things, I found that even that also held true. And like, it's not rocket science or anything. Like, just factually, if you want to do something, you are more likely to do that thing, even if it requires like some degree of effort. Either that, or I'm just like an insane person. I have no idea. Both could be true for all I know. This should be a reference, I think. Mainly because of environment? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that is like, I think there's a lot of studies on that as well, just in terms of like how your environment affects how productive you are. No, ChatGPT is crazy? Wait until I start building new things and then I start whipping out the ChatGPT. But if I like have some idea of what I'm already working on, I don't really have that much of a reason to use it. I feel like the vibe code workflow is a little bit sloppy for my liking, and I usually don't really enjoy it. Bruh. There we go. Is everything good here? I think that's everything good. The getters are getters. Two strings. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think a lot needs to change here other than just like adding a couple unique pointers, but like, sure. And then here we need to change a couple things. This needs to be a reference. This is unique footer. Vibe coding is hard to resist when it comes to building a React component. Yeah, I think that's just like, I think like the reasoning for that's kind of different though. Like, for a lot of things, I feel like vibe coding I think is, you can treat as like a personal intern. I think that's the easiest way to think about it. Vibe coding tailwind slap goes hard. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's great for those things that like you don't want to do, but like it's really easy to explain to someone how to do it in theory. Or even just like explain to someone what to do with like some degree of granularity and either you accept the ambiguity that is present, or the ambiguity is like, yeah, either you accept the ambiguity, or you can like define it more granularly to avoid it. This needs to be moved. That's what I'm missing. Yeah, so we have that. And then I don't think I need a unique pointer for the symbol table, to be honest. Maybe I do? Where do I store the symbol table? Maybe I should make a unique pointer, actually. Let me think about this. Most generates a lot of nonsensical tailoring classes. Yeah, it definitely, that is where like it compounds the problem sometimes. But also, if you don't care, then like you don't care. It's like fair enough at that point. Yeah, this can take a reference. This can take a reference, I guess. I think we can just pass around the reference to it, and then in the program, I think we just put it in a unique putter, even. Let's see. Okay, not recommended. Yeah, that roughly makes sense. So I'm not going to use it. If it's agentic and has workspace context, it usually works. Yeah. I also think it's useful just for like generating boilerplate, which is usually like kind of annoying to write, or at least by hand. So again, it's literally just like an intern. You can tell it to do things, and like as long as you don't care about the quality of it, you can get away with it pretty fine. We should get rid of the destructor. Yeah, that's what I'm missing. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. The toString is fine, I think. Yeah, 19. Let's delete that. This is fine. This is fine. Let's get rid of this baseline and I should do that, I guess. This needs to change, actually. Yeah, there we go. We can just use auto and solve all of our problems, actually. Yeah. Yeah, we love auto. Auto is the best. Okay. Is this fine? Yeah, we can do that. I think this is good. The rest of this actually just does not need to change, I think. Let's try testing it real quick. I might have missed something really small. Oh, I know where I missed something. Yeah, so we finished everything in AST. We need to change it in here, though, I believe. This should be a reference. Oh wait, there's a lot more to change than just this actually. We need to start with the parser, actually. Is this under WSL? Yes. Actually, I'm gonna go grab my laundry real quick. I would ideally not like it to be sitting in the laundry machine for too long, so yeah, I'll be right back. It should be like 5 minutes tops. Alright, I'm back. Give the camera a second. I'm a little bit winded. Why is this not working? Hello camera, wake up. Oh, they figured it out. Yeah. Big pile of laundry. Yippee. Okay. So, it's not gonna stolen anymore, but yeah. Alright. Lots of stuff to clean up here. Alright, let's... everyone's doing laundry today. Yeah, we love washing our towels. Okay. How do we do this? So when I parse, every time it parses something that can be turned into an atom, it turns it into an atom. And then every time it parses an instruction, it like uses the atoms that it's parsed before to make the instruction, pretty much. So we need to, I guess, tinker around with this. And then the big thing is we need to change these to use smart pointers instead. Okay. So this is a stood smart or unique pointer of atom. And then this should also be a unique pointer. There we go. So now we need to fix a couple more things, but that's fine. Also, I don't think we need to change any of the parser logic whatsoever. I think it all lives completely in the actions rather than the actual like literal parsing. I always say I'll do laundry on Sunday, but it ends up being Monday. Yeah, I feel that. I always like tell myself I need to have like 1 day of clothing left, and then like I end up just pushing laundry off until like literally the day that I'm out of clothing, and I'm like, oh crap. Usually it's at like 2 a.m., but since my first day of classes is tomorrow, it'd be a little bit troll for me to do that. We don't need that anymore. Make unique. Can do that, and then can I even just in place back? Yeah, I start classes tomorrow. Oh, I already looked this up. Okay, I can't do that, so push back. What is happening here? Thank you. Oh, I see what's happening. Get me out of this. Thank you. So this needs to be atom. And then, why is this wrong? Should we make unique of atom literal? Why is this wrong? What do I do to make them in here? Yeah, we have a hint, and then, oh, this is a auto. Yeah, okay, we fixed it. So what type is this auto? Not deduced. Okay, that's huge. Okay. What's good, Niraj? Good to see you here today. Okay, this cleaned itself up nicely. Now I have to clean the rest of this up, I guess. Okay, identifier. We want res.second. Oh, that's the symbol table. I see. This. You could even just train card this. I don't think that matters that much. Does the crown with the number 2 mean to talk a lot? I think that's how it works. I don't remember exactly. There's like a you can check at the top of chat though. It should be auto. This should be like unique. And this should take in ID. This should not be a footer. There we go. Yeah, I think it is like per stream if I remember correctly. That sounds roughly correct to me. Okay, this is fine. Parse tokens, I don't think we need to change. This, I think we're fine. This needs to change. Yes, I'm rewriting the compiler to use smart pointers because those are quite annoying. Or I guess not using them is quite annoying, sorry. They are quite the opposite of annoying, as a matter of fact. Is this about right? Yeah, this seems, okay, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, nice. So we can keep scopes like this. This should be auto. Right. What's the preferred make unique? Okay, auto and then type inputs. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that is in fact perfect timing. Assisted make unique. Can we just do this? Oh, this is smooth. Whoops. There we go. So then we can even get rid of this. No, we can't. Okay. Nice. Let me just double check that this is the way that I want to use make unique. I think I have something of that in here. Yeah, it looks like this is what I'm doing across the board, so yeah, that seems reasonable enough. So, yeah. Do you get monetized on channel yet? Unfortunately not. I need to hit more views, but honestly, I don't really care too much about monetization. It's not like I'm struggling too much financially right now. Maybe in the future, it could enable me to pretty much just stream for a living, but until then, I think I'm not really gonna care too much about it. Oh, we can't do that actually because we're popping the back. Okay, so so do that, and then also, do I move above here? Wait, what? This seems strange. Why do I need to move it here, but not up here? Is the move implicit? I guess it is. Yeah, the hours is quite high requirement-wise. I'll definitely get them. It's just like within a year. Yeah, again, I don't really care too much, so it just kind of is what it is. Okay, so this one is interesting because when we parse a left curly brace, we basically make the new scope that that consists of, and then we push it onto like the active scopes, and then that's also what we use for like I think resolving names or something, but maybe that's in like a different part of maybe that's in AST to HR, at least the name resolution part, but this is how we handle, like, we basically have a scope stack roughly. And then the interesting thing with the back, or I guess like the right curly brace, is this basically signifies that a scope has been closed. So we want to remove the scope, and then we want to add it to the backmost scope, at least. And then if it's empty, we just hold on to it, I guess. This seems a little bit redundant, though. What if they're nested? It's a stack, so it just pushes onto the backmost one. When that one closes, that gets popped. Because we can handle nested scopes, and I have a test for that somewhere, I think. It's scope, yeah. So like in this scenario, after the scope on this line here, line 9, so on line 10, it resolves this scope, it adds it as an instruction within this scope in here. So this is counted as one instruction with these sub-instructions. And then after this one is parsed, this counts as one instruction within this scope. And then we eventually end up with like the function as one big scope instruction, which is, I think, a pretty elegant way of resolving this. Are you doing nested loops and conditionals, or is it pretty straightforward to implement? I think I haven't thought about nested loops yet, but I imagine we could I imagine it wouldn't be that difficult. We just have to like think about the recursion a little bit. But that's something I'll cross after this rewrite, because it seems a little bit silly to write it in the old way and then immediately rewrite it once again. Yeah, so I guess you can ask me in like a day or two, and we'll add a couple of tests for that. It'll be interesting. Okay. So we can even skip this logic here because this pop back and push back is a little bit stupid. So if the size is 1, then continue, I guess. Otherwise, we can get rid of this stuff now. Yeah, so we can do that. Do that. We need to move. And then, do we pop back? Yeah, I use continues a lot. I'm not really sure why. I think it just feels elegant to me. Oh, I guess move would leave a empty, or I guess leave garbage at the back, I think, if I remember correctly, so we still need to pop it. Yeah, now we want to add instruction, and we put that scope there. This is not a continue, actually, return. There we go, first try. Yeah, so what this all does in pretty much one sentence is just, once the scope is done, we close it, we consolidate it down into one quote-unquote instruction, and then we add it to the scope that it resides within. This is function scope. Greetings from Romania, doing the same thing as you. Welcome. And thank you for showing up to my stream. Okay. Want to... we can auto this, I guess. This is gross. Can I just auto this? can do that. And we can pop the back, and then auto I equals, this should be make unique. And this takes type, and then do that. Does this work? Oh, god damn it. Whoops. Okay, what's broken now? Declaration. This lives in here, maybe? Is that where I put it? Yeah, of course this is where I put it. This goes here. This takes a type and a unique putter. Maybe I need to be explicit with the type here. I guess Atom identifier. I looked this up before. Yeah, okay. So we can do that. Okay, these do take make uniques, so then I remember when I was learning C after learning Python, I just made every variable auto. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Yeah, because we do need to move this, right? Or it'd be down here. Yeah. So we need that. With the auto for now. Type is this. Atom unique putter. Can we cast unique putters? Can we make game using HTML? You probably could. Yeah. Yeah, TypeScript. It's in the name. We use auto. Or we use any. Oh, we can dynamic cast. Ah, that's so ugly. I really don't like this. Yeah, that's how it goes. What the hell? This is really awful. This is the one downside of this mess, I will say. What the love build system? What do you mean? Base. This takes that. Yeah, we might just have to do this yucky thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's give this a try. So this, we need to change this. I need to make unique out of, so this is a make unique of Atom identifier, and this takes in oh god, this is a mess. So this is a Christ. Let me think about this. Okay, Atom identifier. This is a Atom identifier pointer. And then this is, so you take the thing at the back, and then we get, I think, like that. Are you serious? Oh, we need to dynamic cast. To Atom identifier star. Actually, we should get let's do that. We should also move, so then we don't like run into alloc issues. And then back won't exist after that point, so we can do that, and then so we want to dynamic cast that to a Atom identifier putter, so back.get. Yeah, and then finally I think finally we can call release, and then we can make unique here. So this grabs the thing. What does release do? Does it just, I see, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So it releases ownership. Can I just call release on that even? Okay, so that works fine. Okay, so we've freed it from its chains. So now we can reuse this. And then Oh wait, no, we could just do this, yeah. Oh wait, yeah, we shouldn't use make unique here, right? Yeah, okay. So this is a little bit sloppy, but that's kind of always how it'll end up. Yeah, so we can... Oh, Jesus, okay. Put it like item identifier, and then this takes static cast this even, because this is going derived, or going from base to derived. So static cast that, and then this takes in should be per. Okay, nice. What kinds of compiler rules are you looking for? Mostly ones where I can contribute to LLVM in some degree, whether it be like the Rust compiler, or like Apple Swift compiler, or like NVIDIA's CUDA compiler, as a couple examples. Currently, I'm looking for positions in an intern capacity, so yeah. Okay. This seems fine. This needs to change to instruction. There we go. And this needs to, right, we can even try that and then std move. Nice, okay. So that resolves itself. We can even auto this, right? No, we can't. Interesting. Interesting that one doesn't work, huh? Yeah, okay, well, that's fine. We can take that. I think we need to parse tokens back. Do I need to do that? Yeah, I do need to do that. Okay, I think that works. Unfortunately, I'm gonna need to repeat this whole tango a couple times, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Keyboard sounds nice. What is it? It is, if I remember correctly, I think it's a Keychron V3 with Gateron Oil Kings in it. Oh boy, there's so much boilerplate to write. Okay, let's make a helper function. Yeah, of course. Okay, let's throw this at the top actually. Let's make helper function to make Atom. Maybe we should put this further down somewhere. That might make more sense. Value token action. Do I want to put this here? Yeah, I should leave it at the top. I think this seems the most reasonable. This should be Atom identifier. This is create. Have you considered pursuing PhD programs to do LLVM related research? I'm currently doing research actually. It's at a master's level, unfortunately. And also I don't particularly feel like getting a PhD yet, just because it seems like a lot of effort. Maybe I'll reevaluate end of year, but for now it'll just be a master's. Yeah. So we could call this atom to identifier. Maybe I'll need this a lot, so maybe I'll put this in just generic atom. That might be smart. Yeah, I think I'll need to use this plenty actually, so I'll throw it in here. Fuck it. Yeah, let's. What Novum file browser is that? It's Oil. Oil and Vim. By, I forgot who it was by, but a lot of people use it. It seemed the most thematic to me, at least. So we want to convert to atom identifier. What's wrong with this? Oh, I need to include memory. What's your favorite font? I don't really have one, to be honest. In terms of like text editor fonts, I quite like the way the JetBrains model looks, I will say. I think it's pretty clean, pretty thematic. So static. Can I do that? Yeah, we can even just do that, I think. And then we can throw this slash that we wrote into there. Actually, no, we don't even need this, I think. Actually, no, this function's basically one line, actually. This seems a little bit, or it's like 2 lines, but actually it seems a little bit pointless to include. Can you please briefly explain layman's terms what you're working on right now? I'm working on a compiler from the C language to x86-64 assembly. A compiler is a program that translates from one programming language to another language. So I'm writing a program that translates C programs into an assembly language, and then on the way there's also it also performs code optimizations. Eventually it will do error checking. There's a whole lot of other steps that are more involved. Yeah, that's kind of the high level overview. Let me know if any of that was a little bit confusing. The more people I talk to, the more I feel I need to read and understand a lot more papers to do the actual interesting work. Yeah, that's definitely how it ends up, I think. A lot of the books and a lot of the theory is it kind of describes the status quo, but you kind of have to do, there's a lot of theory that gets developed as well that you have to keep up on, which is, I guess, a little bit double-edged. It's enjoyable in a way, but it's also just a lot of work. And it also monumentally increases the amount of work that someone, at least trying to break into the field, has to do. Recently finished an internship working on a compiler. I'm debating returning to that full-time in PhD programs. Yeah, I think it's definitely a pretty tough call. I think I think at least given the job market, I don't see, like, unless you have a really good reason to do a PhD, I don't really think there's, I don't think it's worth it, at least. It's just a lot of time for very little comparative gain, I guess. Are you doing an in-person master's program? Yes, I am. I'm doing I guess I'm getting it alongside my undergrad degree. So our school has a combined BS MS program, and that's what I'm starting this year. Oh right, I was gonna do more of this slush. Okay, so we want to change this. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea, Bean. I think it also lets you, it also gives you like an easy out if you get laid off anywhere, because then you have like, what am I? Oh, std move. But yeah, because then you don't really have that like awkward job gap or career gap that you need to explain. You can just say that you went back to school and like call it a day, and then life is pretty good. Oh, I see. So this should be value. Back. Bail. Back. I can't type. Doing great. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's no perfect solution there, but it sure as hell beats not really being able to explain a career gap. Or at least that's the thinking. Yeah. There's a lot of other things that go into it, obviously. But yeah. This should be... No, this should still be a unique putter to Atom. And the other one I need to do the little hacky thing for. That. What's wrong here? Oh, bruh. Okay. Okay. So let's just steal all of this. Do that. Oh god, wait, what am I doing? This is the wrong one. There we go. Okay, let me make sure I didn't make any more mistakes in that regard. Okay, this looks fine. This is good. This needs to be changed. Let's do that. So we get back, we pop back, we cast the putter, and then we rewrap it. Get rid of that. Is this still variable? Yeah, it's variable. Yeah, okay. So this is fine. And we need to do some cringe stuff here. Let's make unique here. Just delete word. And then this is auto I equals. What's going wrong here? Oh, I need to move. There we go. And then this also needs to be a move. Oh god, what? How did I do that one? Okay. So that's fixed. Yeah, I'm using WSL here. I also want to learn LLVM, so lots of CMM backends rather than... Yeah, okay. That seems fair enough. I think, honestly, I think LLVM's tutorial for like first language front end, even if you want to do backend work, I think it's helpful because it gets you used to sort of like at least working with LLVM. If you look back at my previous streams, the first 20 or so, I think, were me pretty much just going through that. And even though it's a language front end, it still interfaces with LLVM proper. So I think that that's not a bad place to start, at least. And then also just like playing around with things, maybe like trying to recreate some passes by hand would probably not be bad. I'm kind of just doing that external of LLVM because I also want to like build the complete thing ground up, but yeah. Okay, we can do a little bit of theft again. Do that. Oh god. So you get to steal this again. And then you need to change this. Could even steal this. Then change this thing in here. Instruction assign value. Do an assignment. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you. Good luck on your assignment. Yeah, I'm using default QWERTY. I haven't played around with other board form factors or other layouts that much. One of my friends has an ortholinear, and he enjoys it a lot. I don't really see a reason to, at least, but I mean, to each their own, I guess. Oh boy, this is gonna be a mess. Okay. Okay, so these are items, so we can just wrap with moves, and then oh, I can big Y is a thing? Anyway. We can paste. There we go. First try. And then we need to do some ugly work again. This is here. Working web dev for years, interested in level. I don't think it's necessarily quote-unquote essential to C++, but I also think it's helpful in two ways. The first is that it gives you a better intuition of, I guess, how to reason about C++, especially since like there are less abstractions, or at least a lot of the abstractions are presented in terms of like, I guess in terms of how things operate more at the systems level. So that's one way it's helpful, and the second is that a lot of the C++ jobs, they have like questions that are pretty pertinent to, I guess, like understanding C++ logic. So like, I guess how the abstractions, or I guess like handling like edge cases with the abstractions that are provided. And a lot of those are easier to reason about if you understand what's happening at a lower level. I wouldn't say that they're, so like in that sense, I wouldn't say that they're essential, but like, as in like you can technically get by without them, but it's also just like really helpful to know a lot about that. Also, architecture is pretty important for like writing performant code. Like if you kind of need to know, you kind of need to have a pretty good understanding of like caching and sort of just like how the system runs code, I guess, to be able to make something performant, because that's pretty much the big benefit you get out of writing C++. Else you would just use a more higher level language. Higher level isn't really the right word. I guess a language that abstracts away more of the stuff closer to the metal. Oh, I need to move things. Whoops. I'll see this new event must term 2 mugs. Let's go. We're so up. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think a lot of the IDEs for C++ work are particularly great. Especially since you need to do a lot of things command line anyway. It just seems a little bit clunky, I guess, to use an IDE. As in, like, I guess like Visual Studio a lot of people use because Windows. I took the other way around the Windows issue, quite evidently. Debuggers in NeoVim are as good as the IDE GUIs. I'll be honest, I'm quite weak with a debugger. I can't really claim too much, but I've had to use GDB for one assignment in a class, and that was like 2 years ago. This is definitely like a knowledge deficiency on my end, but the experience is definitely a little bit more different because to my understanding, most of the other debuggers for other languages operate, or I guess like they show you information at the more abstracted level, whereas with C++, since it's all compiled down anyway, you're kind of just like stepping through assembly, and it's like, youch. And that's like inevitable, but like GUI or not, I don't think having a GUI or not having a GUI will really change the experience there. What's going wrong here? Oh yeah, also, I think GDB and LODB have like a TUI as well that you could use. That's what I plan on using when I sit down and like actually go like face first into using a debugger. What am I missing? Variable op left right. What's going wrong here? nvim.py, yeah, that's the plugin I've heard is generally good. What is wrong here? Variables and atom identifier, left, right, or atoms. What's wrong here? Yeah? Unique putter. I've heard C++ is idiomatic, much in the same way JS devs have all these different frameworks. Yeah, I think idiomatic isn't really I wouldn't like put like solid groupings around things, but it's more like everyone has their own style, and a lot of those styles are pretty similar around different communities that have different uses of C++. Like, if you like go on YouTube and you look up like C programming style, everyone has like their own videos, which is like how I write C programs. And I think that sort of attitude transports similarly to C++ as well. And there's also like, it's like, I guess kind of an arbitrary divide, but there's sort of like quote unquote like old style and quote unquote new style C++, in the sense that like new style C++ utilizes a lot more like modern abstractions. So like, I think the big one that everyone points to is unique pointers, which handle a lot of the memory management for you, whereas like quote unquote old style C++ uses a lot more raw pointers. Yeah, and there's just like a lot of like language features that have been added over the past 20 years, and it's just changed the language a lot in that regard. Why is this wrong? Oh, I'm stupid. Wait. Wait. Auto. That's what's going wrong. There we go. First try. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, three big things to fix, and then the rest we can process as we go. Yeah, this one we can auto again and move. Yeah, I'm not gonna use surround for that. That's a little bit dumb, but okay, so we want auto I equals make. Yeah, I think what I'm doing right now is actually a really good example of, or I guess like one, like really, it kind of shows both sides of like old versus new C++. Because what I was doing before was very heavily old style C++, just using like straight, just like managing memory by hand. Whereas I've seen the light. I have seen the truth now, and it's just so convenient to use smart pointers. They just do all the work for you, and like rewriting is really not that difficult. There's like some pain points here and there, but they're relatively small. So yeah, that's my opinion at least. There are times where you don't want to use smart pointers. And like, there are times where even though you use smart pointers, you want to pass around raw pointers. Very frequently, you actually want to do that. Because smart pointers, I guess, handle ownership. So, yeah, bottom line, I think like, there is advantages and disadvantages to every programming style, but it's just pretty cool that everyone does it in their own unique way. This takes value, or moved value rather. And then this also moves. Oh boy, we get to copy this boilerplate ass code over again. Let's do it like this. Let's get a call. And then this is target. That. What's wrong here? Where did I mess up here? What does call take again? Where did it go? Takes an identifier. Damn it. Okay, we need to do this ugly thing. What motivated you to learn Vimotions? It's gonna sound really stupid, but I just thought the themes looked better. I thought the themes looked better than they did in VS Code. So I was like, what's this editor? And then I fell down the rabbit hole, and then I started watching Primogen. And here I am. I don't know if that was a good decision in my life or a terrible decision, but for better or for worse, this is now the life I lead. So, yeah. Silly me. Yeah, we love Prime. I think he's a pretty big inspiration for me as well, just in terms of like writing code in, I guess, a non-AI workflow. Because low-key, he's kind of right about everything. Okay, that's target, and then yeah, I think it just feels zen. It feels like there were two things I wanted to avoid. The first is like using the mouse as much as possible because like it's annoying to have to carry one around, and I would rather avoid it. And then the second thing is also like control mod or like modifier based keyboard shortcuts. Because like that shit is terrible in Word. I don't want to have to deal with it in I don't have to deal with it in whatever I do in the future. Yeah, I wouldn't even say it makes me faster, it just makes me happier. And I think that should be a good enough reason to use whatever editor. This needs a move. We can do that. What's wrong here? This needs to be autoed. Let's delete to that. No. Okay. Wait, I can just delete the line. Yeah. And then what's wrong here now? Oh, brah. AST. Is this the right one? Variable and then target. Yeah, this should be correct. What's wrong here? Oh, bruh. Okay, we figured that out. I don't think it's gonna cause a problem that I do like this stuff here. Right? Surely. Surely this is fine. Anyway. Okay. So we need to replace this dynamic cast with this thing again. And this is name. Yeah, the more I look at this, the more I think I should have abstracted it out, but whatever. Maybe that's a future concern. Sometimes repeating code is not all that bad. Res first, push back. This needs a move. right? Yeah, so that needs to be a move, and this also needs to be a move. And then this also needs to be a move. Okay. What's wrong now? Wait, we can even in place back, huh? Right? Wait, no, we need... Does this take a unique putter? Did I do something dumb here? Any general advice or things you wish you knew from someone starting to learn C++ from a web dev background? I think learning C is a better place to start, actually. Because C++ is, first of all, a superset of C, so that helps in that aspect, but also it, I think, is a more raw introduction to pointers and working at a low level, and then you can start putting on the C++ coats of paint on top. Where did I... What type is res? Vector a function. Yeah, of course. This is a vector function. Where am I? Do I use like... Yeah, we have a vector function. I don't think we need those to be unique pointers, right? I don't think I did that down here, at least. Yeah, okay. So I didn't do unique pointers down there. So this should be fine. But I think we need to just throw in a lot more moves. So you want auto function equals... Do you use telescope? Yes, but low-key I need to use it more. I install it, but I've just never been like a big fuzzy finder because I'm just not thinking in that way yet. I also have harpoon on, but I haven't had a reason to use it yet, at least. Like for these projects, I feel like I kind of know where I am for the most part. Maybe I'll force myself to use it more, I think. Because it is something I want to... That's something I want to get more used to. Work project is nested like 5 directories deep. Yeah, fair enough. What's going wrong here? Yeah, this was in here, right? No, it wasn't here. Tabs, that makes sense. Yeah, tabs didn't feel very in the spirit of Vim for me, so I've always avoided them. It says a unique putter of identifier and a unique putter of scope. Active scopes is unique putter of scope. Yeah, so that should be fine. Why is this wrong? because I can at least see what I'm navigating to. That, yeah, fair enough. You can also, Harpoon also has a thing that just like shows everything you have. So if I were to add these, you can see what exists. But you'd have to like set that up if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think treating it as like just a blank slate is probably like the same thing to do, but I'm just pedantic, so yeah. Why doesn't this work? Function. So it has a type, has a name. Oh, bruh. Okay. Forgot to change this one out. Did I? Okay, I think that's the only one that I need to fix there. Yeah, and then that fixes that. That means I need to fix the constructor in here real quick though. This needs to be a move. Okay, there we go. And then this needs to be a move as well. Of course it needs to be a move, it always needs to be a move. Okay, the parser is fixed, and we need to change a couple of things in AST to HR. Is the Kaleidoscope project good for getting to compilers or the crafting interpreters book? I think the Kaleidoscope stuff is better if you have like some idea of what's going on already, and you just want to become familiar with LLVM strictly. I think crafting interpreters is probably better if you haven't worked on like an interpreter before, let alone a compiler. I think that's just like a better introduction to the theory, whereas LLVM is more of like LLVM's tutorial is more an introduction to the ecosystem, I guess, if that makes sense. What was I gonna work on? I was gonna fix things here. All of this is fine though, I think. And then let's do that. Oh, I need to change some of these. It just occurred to me. Oh no. Okay, alright. Okay, this glue is gonna be a little bit sloppy. Okay, this seems a little bit silly to work on this right now because I also need to rewrite HR to use smart pointers. So perhaps I do that first. Let's commit things real quick. Wait, that's all that I changed? Actually, yeah, that makes sense. That's a lot of stuff in there that I changed. For AST smart pointers. Okay. Yeah, I appear to be running a little bit short on time, so we'll have to see how this ends up working out. But I'm getting pinged somewhere. I'm getting pinged simultaneously everywhere and nowhere. That's sure. Okay, I wanna fix this instruction. So let's, where are all the pointers? There's 44 of these. Let's change out all of the atom identifier pointers to unique footer of atom identifier. And then, yeah, I think that's, oh, we should do it for atom as well. Okay. Oh boy. All right, we gotta fix things. Let's do some fixing. This goes down here. What's wrong here? I need to include memory. There we go. That's unbroken a lot of things, it looks like. Do you find your undergrad education useful, or was most of it self-learning? Most of it was self-learning, but I think my undergrad education set a lot of the foundation for it. So like, the compilers class taught me most of my compiler theory that I know. And then like, our intro sequence taught a decent amount of C and C++. And I did not pay attention as much as I should have, to be honest, but even in spite of that, I still think it set a really solid foundation in terms of like, at least knowing what happens at a low level. Whether it be like just understanding pointer semantics or like understanding like caching, and just like some like basic system level of thinking as well. These need to be references. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's kind of a common experience, it appears. It's also a reference. Let's get rid of that. This needs to be a reference. Yeah. The nice thing about rewriting here with unique pointers is that I can get rid of all these annoying destructors, which caused a little bit of headache. And there's also like a definite owner, which we all love to see. We need to clean up a lot of stuff here, so let's fix that. Let's fix that. More moves to make. Yeah, it's getting dark. That's how it is. That's how the evening is. Yeah, my hard stop is like 7:30, so I got another half hour to make as much progress as I can on this. This might end up being a 2-day job though, I fear. Yeah, let's do that. Variable and value, that should be fine. Oh. Alright, no, this is... What's wrong here? Move, whoops. How to use AI in your workflow or learning process? Yeah, I kind of just use it alongside Google when Google isn't really giving me a lot to work off of. And then I like still try and reason about it myself and just make sure the response makes sense. In terms of like using AI to write code for me, I don't really do that a lot. it just feels slower, to be honest. Which is, it's not supposed to be a flex, but it kind of ends up sounding a little bit like it. Yeah, I think that's the only sane way to go about it. Lest we wear the mark of shame that goes with being a vibe coder, I guess. That's a reference. That's a reference. That's fine. This is a move. That's the wrong braces. That's a reference. So much boilerplate to rewrite. How long have you been coding in C++? I formally learned C++, I think 3 years ago now. I did a little bit of work in it 2 years ago now. And then in terms of like writing like real programs in C++, I've only started like exploring it on my own this year. So like barring just like knowing what pointers are and like understanding what the standard library does, I've only had like real C++ experience for like 3 months, I think, actually. This needs to be moved. That's what I'm missing. These are both moves. Okay, we fixed this file now. This is good. We need to fix this as well, but it's pretty straightforward at least. Oh wait, I need to make instruction unique putters here, I think. Yeah, we don't need to worry that much there. Let's change this. Yeah, that looks good. Does this look good? This looks good. No, this does not look good. I need to make these references again. Or the getters references. I think that's it, actually. Yeah, actually, that was pretty clean. This should be not that, though. This should just be a putter, methinks. Do I do the same up here as well? Real quick, let me just double check. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, are these fine? Scope, yeah, okay. We're still fine there. Yeah, honestly, the reason I'm not really compiling anything here is because I kind of, there's just like a lot of moving parts here, and I kind of need all of them to be functional before I can compile and test. Or at least in terms of like refactoring here. Yeah, I've ended up, for the most part here, I've kind of just, I have too much confidence in the correctness of my code to begin with, so I usually end up compiling pretty late and then just like spamming debug print statements when the time comes. Also, I have like a couple of tests built out, so I can like kind of use those as sort of regression security. Usually I would be running more incrementally. It's just like with the way that this project is structured, I think it's kind of difficult to incrementally build. So I end up just writing a large swath of code and then just praying that it works. Let's replace that. Let's replace that. And get rid of that. And okay. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, of course. Wait, what? Oh, wait, I know what's causing that. Okay, maybe I don't know. Deleted constructor. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll always love that further down. Do that. Format, that's good. And then this should be auto and reference. That's a move? Yeah, that's a move. Yeah, okay. I think. Oh, this is. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all fixed, at least. It should be pretty solid. Rewrite jar to smart pointers. And now we get to have a lot of fun here. There's a lot of broken code here to fix. Yeah, I'm not gonna enjoy this one. I can't lie. There's a lot of news to fix. And then a lot of small things to rewrite. A lot of helper functions, I think. Yeah, this one I really piled on the helpers. So I think this was kind of necessary though, because I was also like destroying scopes as well. Jesus Christ, okay. Not really happy with this one. Okay. Let's get started on the cleanup. It's like looking at a crime scene. I need to do that. And then I don't need this, I think. I can just... I think that... This is actually the rare case where I want to feed in a raw pointer. Yeah, or at least for those. So we can do this, but we can just get rid of the global. And then I'll fix these, I think. Yeah. What is raw pointer versus smart pointer? Yeah, no worries. So I guess the easiest way to think about the distinction is like who manages the memory. So you know how in all of the languages that I think you're familiar with, so JavaScript is like the big one, also Python, and like Java for instance. When you allocate memory, you don't have to free it by hand. There's a garbage collector, and whenever the heap gets full, or whenever you're out of memory, it just goes through. It looks at the variables or the bits of memory that you can't access anymore, and then it just it deletes the stuff that you literally cannot use anymore. So that's garbage collection, memory management. But in C and C++, there is no garbage collector. You have to allocate memory by hand, or you have to call Alex, or you have to use the alloc function to allocate memory by hand, and then you have to call free in C to I guess free the memory / deallocate. In C++, the abstractions are a little bit different, but you have to go through the same sort of process. Use the new keyword to make a new heap allocated object, and then you use delete to delete the object. So there's a question of I guess the question here is whose job is it to call the delete? So with a raw pointer, which is just a straight up pointer, and it's just a term used to distinguish it from pointers with a wrapper around them, pretty much. So a raw pointer is it is literally just a memory address, and they're simple. When you work with C, you'll have to work with them a lot, but the big downside is you have to call free yourself, and then there's a couple of issues relating to that. If the underlying object has been moved somewhere, then that pointer doesn't work anymore. Or if you've already called delete on the thing, and you mess up somewhere, you also have to you might run into a double delete issue, and then that causes a seg fault, and it causes your program to crash because you're accessing memory that you're not supposed to access, pretty much. So the C++ language designers were this sucks. This is really annoying to use. What if we just had a system that, what if we just had an abstraction around a pointer that still allowed you to use it in a similar way, but when that drops out of scope and you can't use it anymore, it just deletes automatically. And that's kind of the motivation behind smart pointers. So you have unique pointers, which is the one that I'm using here. You have shared pointers, and then you also have this other thing called a weak pointer. I haven't read too much about weak pointers and shared pointers, but you can think of it in terms of which stack frame owns the object that it controls, I guess, if that makes sense. So a unique pointer here, it basically says this says we've allocated memory somewhere for this object, and this is the only pointer to that. And that's nice because then once this object drops out of scope, then we know, just as a guarantee of the structure, that there are no more uses of that object from here on forward. So that is memory that is safe to free. So that's why you would use a unique pointer. And then a shared pointer, you can have multiple things that own the object. And then the idea there is it keeps an internal counter of how many objects reference it. And then once that counter hits 0, then we know there's no more uses, and then we can delete it. So weak pointer, I think, is I don't remember the exact details. You'd have to look that up. But yeah, that's a rough explanation. Let me know if any of that didn't make sense. And again, you would only use a smart pointer on something that, I guess, literally owns or it has ownership over the object. Yeah, pointers are, Yeah, I guess you could kind of think of it as like this value lives in this place in memory. It is like a memory address, pretty much. Yeah. And it's just a question of like how much of the work you want to manage yourself. Oh boy, I need to do more cleanup here. Yeah, these I also want to not do global. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Actually, let's add the space there as well. All right, am I tripping? There we go, okay. Yeah, okay. This seems to have cleaned itself up a little bit. And we get to clean up these stupid abstractions I wrote. I hate everything. This was so troll on my end. Okay. Let's start at the top here. So unique footer. Yeah, so this makes a new declaration. So then why doesn't this work? Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, God. I've made so many bad choices here. This is so stupid. This needs a GIF. Oh wait, this works? We can be polymorphic? Wait, what? Oh wait, no. Duh. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should reorder these a little bit. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we've made that somehow, question mark, I guess. So let's get rid of that pointer. I can even auto this. Yeah, let's auto that. I think that's less miserable. Let's make unique of this type. Then this needs a move. Yeah, and also if you're wondering why I'm using all these moves, since we can't have multiple uses of a unique pointer, we have to like literally move ownership of that into whatever we're constructing here. And then same goes for here, because when we make a copy, we'd have to like copy all of the elements. We can't copy we can copy everything else in this instruction, but we can't copy the thing that we just moved in because that's a unique pointer, so we have to move this once again. What's wrong here? What is result again? I need to change that type, I think. Yeah, okay. Unique footer of instruction. Yeah, okay. How do you keep track of all the memory you're using? The nice thing about unique pointers is that I don't need to worry about it anymore. Since there are unique pointers, they automatically delete once the object drops out of scope, so I don't have to worry about freeing anything. If I were to be using manual memory allocation with like raw pointers like I was before though, that is like in and of itself its own headache. So you kind of have to reason about that as well, which really sucks, but I mean, that's kind of how it is. Oh, I see. This makes two things. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we can copy this again. And then it's also an identifier, so I think we can variable 2. Great. Variable 2, and then yeah, we need to do that again, which is kind of funny. Yeah, and then here we have to value. And this is a, wait, no. Ah, these are use scopes. That's subtle. Because I handle declarations and uses differently. And that's significant here. Okay, that looks good. And then let's just steal that line, so it's less annoying for me to write things. Getting pinged. Okay. Assignment completed, yippee. Okay, this is not declaration. This takes in variable. Moving those two. Then instead move value. Oh, this is new assign. You need to keep moving these. Okay, nice. More of this. More of the same, more of the same. So much boilerplate, so much to write. Yeah, we can steal these two lines. Nice. This one is a little bit annoying, actually. Okay. This one stays the same, luckily, but we need to change a couple of things here. I think we can just keep autoing these. And then add a get. Let's just do that first. And then do that. We make unique. I need to move more things. Need to move. Need to move. Yeah, if it wasn't obvious, writing all these moves, or at least refactoring to use these moves, is taking its mental toll on me, but it's kind of always how it be. We live and we learn. Gotta coordinate with people on when to get dinner. But I can't get dinner yet. I have to refactor code. Auto. I'm like really losing it now. Yeah, hopefully the quality of the stream is still entertaining to some degree. Okay, this is fine. Thank you for the stream and answering questions. Good luck with project and stream. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna be streaming next, but it's definitely daily for sure. I'll definitely make announcements in my Discord though, which you should join. And I guess I may as well plug this now. Join my Discord, it's in the description. It's the best way to get notified when I go live. You also get to chat with a bunch of other compiler people, PL people, and just other viewers of mine. It's a pretty chill community. Yeah. Take care, Frog. Good to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. Let's go to here. Let's delete that. And this needs to move. I should just copy this line. Okay, we're actually quite close to being done with this, although I guess any semblance of it being alright will be completely nuked by the fact that I also have to re-implement CodeGen to some degree. It's just like this Git part at least. Yeah, it'll be funny. It'll be a good time. Okay. We want this. Let's do auto. Let's do that, and then. Once again, need to move. So why wouldn't we need to move? Okay, last instruction that we need to worry about right now. Am I missing something up there? Unscoped edit. Oh yeah, I see. That's fine. Yeah, okay. And then you can steal that line even. Yeah, that makes sense. And then let's change this. Hey Janine, you doing all right? Time check reminder, yeah. Let me know when y'all are going over. Like now? Okay. Yeah, I'll be brisk. I also might just be a little bit late. But that's what happens, yeah. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. What's going on here? This needs to be a move. Right? This needs to be a unique putter. Did I not change this up here? Oh shit, I didn't change it up here. Welcome back, Frothy. The stream is starting to wind down, I fear. Because I have I have obligations. Okay, where's the result that I wanna... I think we can probably be fine with this. Yeah, there's like some things I need to fix first, so. This needs to be a unique putter, I think. Yeah, I'll just be late to dinner. I honestly want to get this done sooner than later. What ID is that? This is Neovim in Wes term. What food are you getting? Some form of noodles. I'm not sure yet. It's a place that's near campus. It's quite good. This is Atom Identifier. Do that. You can even just return this straight up, huh? Yeah, okay. So we have that. This one down here is no different. Now the off-topic questions keep me sane. You already know what happens when I end up writing stood move one too many times. Writing the void. I've been clinking at the keys. I haven't had time to turn the lights on. Create scope identifier. This needs to be a move, right? Unless this is just inlined? This might be inlined. That might be fine. Yeah, okay. That should be fine then. Yeah, I am like giga locked in. So that does that. Resolve use scope. Seems fine. Yeah, we can inline that. And then this one needs to be just Atom. Oh, we can't do this anymore. Oh, but we don't need to cast it anymore, right? It's an identifier, then we want to do that. Right? Oh, this needs to be the unique put. Oh, god damn it. Wait, what? No. This doesn't need to. This should be fine though. Why doesn't this... Operand types. Result declaration scope. I might just have to overload. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit ugly, I fear. Wait, no, this should be fine. Wait, no, what? What if I just threw this in here? Takes a to string, go string. And then cur scope. Right, that should work. No? Why is that an invalid operand type? Oh, okay. I completely bought it out here. Okay. Okay, so you can change that, and then you can make unique here. Right? Why is this? Do I need to cast this or something stupid? I might have to ditch the ternary operator even. To cast it like that? What the fuck? Are you... what? No way. Oh, I'm getting called. Shit bar. And then I can do the same thing here, I think. And then use scope here. Yeah. And then I need to do that. Okay, we have a countable number of errors left, which is really good. Can I dynamic cast that? Yeah. Okay. This needs to be a make unique. This needs to be a move. And this needs to be a unique putter again. This needs to be a move. This needs to be a move. And then, okay. Okay, so then, again, we have a countable number of these left, which is really good. So now we can take this. This should be auto. What type is this? Atom identifier. Okay, yeah, as intended. Okay. Let's try to be brisk here. Can I just do that? Oh, wait, I see. Get body. And then dot get. I had a better way of visiting before. It's like here, I think, right? Or it was in pass. Or in mem2reg, I definitely did something more reasonable here. Wait, why am I using visit? I should use f.getBody accept, and this should accept the visitor. I think, right? There we go. Should be reference. Oh, the signature doesn't make sense anymore. Add return if missing. This should. So up here, this should function reference. We don't want mem2reg, we want this one. This needs a reference. What's going wrong here? Can I just do that? Yeah, okay. This needs to move that, and then needs to move this. This needs to move that. Okay. And this needs to move again. God damn it. There we go. Yeah, okay. Neat. Perfect. No notes. So we'll just build. It probably won't build, if I had to guess, because there are a billion yeah, okay. Yeah, I think this is probably the best place to end it, end the stream though. I'm getting yelled at to go to dinner, so yeah, I need to, I like actually need to dip. I've already run like 13 minutes over. Fix st to hr. Let's push. Okay, nice. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna head out now. Thank you all for showing up to this stream, even though it was at a little bit of an unexpected hour. I did move the time forward, which is a little bit awkward. Appreciate y'all for showing up though. Make sure you like the stream and sub to my channel. It helps get my content out to more viewers, and it really helps out with the algorithm. And while you're down there, make sure you join the Discord, get to know all of the other people in my lovely community, and it also is the best place to get notified when I actually do go live, especially with whatever the hell schedule this is. And yeah, make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn, add me on GitHub, and if you know anyone at a quant firm or in a compiler team that can give me a referral for a compiler job or a compiler internship, please send my resume their way. It would mean the world to me. So yeah, take care y'all, take it easy, stay hydrated.